Hey everybody, it's me, Catherine Endy, the Family Life Coach. Welcome. Today I want to talk a little bit about my research on mindfulness and parenting. I want to let you know that I wanted to study this because I noticed that the ability to regulate my own emotions was very key to lowering my own parenting stress. So it's already well known in the world of research and the world of mindfulness research that mindfulness is a pretty good way to lower stress in general and a pretty good way to lower parenting stress in particular. So that we already knew, but we don't necessarily know a whole lot about why that is and why parenting stress or why mindfulness works to lower parenting stress. So one of my research questions was around this topic of what is the thing that makes mindfulness work in that way? What is the thing that makes it so effective? So let's just start by defining what mindfulness means, because that's a buzzword that's used a lot these days and can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. It doesn't necessarily just mean meditation. It can mean a lot of different things. So meditation as it is, mindfulness as it is defined, at least in my research and in the literature on mindfulness, is a state of awareness, attention, and intention, meaning bringing your awareness to your state of being, to your body, to your breath, bringing your attention, focusing your attention on those things, on what it is that you want, on the state that you want to be in, on the feeling that you want to feel, and setting an intention around that, setting an intention for how you want your day to go, setting an intention for how you want to show up for your kids, for your family. And this is one of the daily practices that I engage in, is intention setting, and I hope that you do as well. And this can really take a lot of different forms. It can show up in journaling. It can show up in just taking a moment to focus your attention on what it is that you want to set as your intention. So like I said, very interested in emotion regulation because I have noticed in myself and in other parents that I've worked with that a parent's ability to regulate your own emotional state is key to lowering parenting stress and to being more present with your kids. And so many of the parents that I work with, I would say 99% of the parents that I work with say, when I ask them what it is that they want and how they want to feel when it comes to parenting, the word calm comes up 99% of the time. People want to feel calm when interacting with their children. So what does that look like? Calm means the ability to acknowledge the way that you're feeling, to acknowledge the stress that you're experiencing in the moment, and to do something about it. And by do something about it doesn't mean just stuff it or make it go away. It means being able to acknowledge yourself, acknowledge that state of being, that emotional state, and shift it into something that feels better, something that feels more connected. So I had a hunch that perhaps self-regulation was part of this relationship between mindfulness and parenting stress. And what I'm finding is that indeed that is the case, that emotion regulation and self-compassion both partially explain the relationship between mindfulness and lowered parenting stress. So the self-compassion piece, I think, is also really interesting because you can practice mindfulness by that state of awareness, that state of focusing your attention on the thing that you want to see, not the thing you don't want to see. And you probably hear me talk about that a lot. You can practice that without really any focus on yourself necessarily or any compassion toward yourself. And yet, what the research is showing is that self-compassion is actually a huge piece of it, in the sense that Well, let's talk about what self-compassion means. Self-compassion is offering the same care and concern to yourself that you would offer to a friend or loved one who was suffering. So if your friend came to you and said, I feel like I'm doing a terrible job parenting my kids, I feel guilty, I yelled, I'm a bad dad, I'm a bad mom, you probably wouldn't be harsh, right? You would probably be very supportive and probably say some reassuring things like, you're doing the best you can. I know it's a hard day. Go easy on yourself. Give yourself a break. Maybe take some time, right? These are the kinds of things that you would say to a friend who was struggling. So self-compassion means saying those same kinds of things to yourself when you're struggling, or even just putting your hand on your heart and closing your eyes for a minute and saying, I love you. You're doing a good job, right? It's very simple, and yet we tend to skip this step, right? We tend to skip over offering ourselves the care and concern that we would offer to another person. So what I'm seeing in my research is that this component, along with the ability to regulate your own emotions, are key to lowering parenting stress. So if you are someone who is feeling a lot of parenting stress right now and you would like to feel calmer, I recommend practicing a little self-compassion. I will see you next week.